You know what's funny? Most people who call themselves ambitious are actually some of the laziest people alive. Not in a worthless sense, more like their minds running at 200 miles per hour, but their bodies stuck on the couch. And there's research backing this. They found over 92% of people set goals that literally go nowhere. That's not because they lack intelligence or drive. It's because being ambitious but lazy is a weird brain paradox that most people never figure out. See, your brain is a survival machine, hardwired to avoid pain and conserve energy. It doesn't care about your six-pack or million-dollar business. It only cares about keeping you safe and efficient. That means it loves shortcuts. The problem? Dreaming big gives you a dopamine hit that feels like progress. So you keep dreaming over and over without actually moving. It's a chemical trick. You fantasize, get your hit, and your brain thinks, mission accomplished, while nothing changes. And then there's the killer trap. You confuse excitement for actual execution. Ever notice how you'll plan your epic schedule, buy that fancy productivity app, or binge motivational YouTube videos, then do absolutely nothing different? That's because excitement burns hot and fast. Action burns slow and steady. If you only chase that rush, you'll be stuck forever in prep mode. I've done it myself countless times. I'd get all hyped about some grand project, maybe even stay up till 2 a.m. plotting it out. Then 2 days later, ghost town. Zero action, zero results, just guilt. That guilt is what locks you even deeper. Now you're not just lazy, you're ashamed for being lazy. That shame eats your self-trust alive. Each time you don't follow through, it confirms this ugly story in your head. I'm a fraud. I can't stick to anything. And that story is poison. Because if you believe it, you'll stop trying altogether. So if you're ambitious but lazy, realize it's not because you're broken. It's because your brain's doing its job. You just need to start playing the game differently. Here's the counterintuitive part. Tiny wins beat big dreams every single time. Your brain's dopamine system doesn't actually care how grand the goal is. It only notices progress. That means doing something laughably small, like writing one sentence or doing 5 push-ups, gives you more motivational fuel than fantasizing about writing a book or getting shredded. Small actions are the secret. They hack the lazy system because once you're in motion, staying in motion is 10 times easier. It's basic physics. Now let me show you how lazy people can be absolute geniuses if they lean into it. Look around at the most successful entrepreneurs, engineers, even athletes. You'll notice many of them find the laziest way possible to solve huge problems. They automate, delegate, streamline, create systems so they can slack off on the repetitive stuff. They conserve energy for only the biggest decisions. That's not a flaw, it's evolution. Why waste fuel when you can design a machine that does it for you? So if you're lazy, congratulations. You're evolutionarily optimized. Just aim it better. But let's be brutally honest, most of us don't aim it at all. We just stew in shame. That's the real silent killer. Shame makes you freeze. It convinces you to wait until you're in the mood or until you've somehow fixed all your flaws first. Meanwhile, days turn into weeks, weeks into years. It's a quiet tragedy. I've personally lost entire chunks of my life to that cycle, avoiding simple steps because I felt too guilty for not being perfect. The irony, if I'd just started small, the momentum would have saved me. So here's your next powerful shift. Stop trying to force yourself with raw willpower. Willpower is like a phone battery. It drains fast. Instead, build microsystems. Put your gym clothes next to your bed so it's easier to go. Prep your workspace the night before so writing takes zero setup. Make healthy food the default. Junk the inconvenient option. When your environment does 80% of the work, your lazy brain happily complies. That's not weakness, it's strategy. Let me give you a personal example. I once set this massive goal to read 50 books in a year. Sounds ambitious, right? But guess how many I finished by June? 0. Why? Because my lazy brain was overwhelmed by the size of the task. Then I tried something embarrassingly tiny. I told myself, just read 1 page a day. 1 page, that's it. Suddenly, it felt laughably doable. By December, I'd finished 27 books. Not 50, sure, but way more than 0. That's the power of shrinking your entry point. When the door's small, you actually walk through it. Now here's something you probably never thought about. Your environment is either your prison or your cheat code. If your phone's on your desk, good luck resisting TikTok. If your fridge is stuffed with soda and leftover pizza, your brain will follow the path of least resistance. Lazy isn't a character flaw. It's your biology playing efficiency. So engineer your surroundings. Want to write more? Log out of Netflix? Want to eat better? Keep only what supports your goals in your kitchen. Don't rely on being strong. That's a losing game. And remember, this brutal truth, your future self is basically a stranger. Studies show we neurologically see our future self almost like we see another person. That's why it's so easy to sabotage tomorrow. Your brain doesn't feel the pain yet, so trick it. Automate payments to your savings so you can't blow money. Sign up for something non-refundable, or schedule tasks publicly so you'd feel embarrassed to back out. Your brain will always pick comfort today, but you can rig the game to make the right choice automatic. It's genius level laziness. Hey, real quick, if this is hitting home, pause for a second. Literally, pause the video. Think of just one tiny change you could make today. Write it down. Maybe it's moving your phone out of the bedroom. Maybe it's laying out your gym clothes or texting a friend to meet you at 6 a.m. Small steps. That's how the lazy ambitious win. And if this is actually helping you see your own patterns clearer, consider sharing it with someone else stuck in the same loop. Because let's be honest, most people will never hear this. All right, back in. You want a sneaky trick? Make your goals social. We're wired to care what others think. If you're lazy by nature, your reputation becomes an amazing productivity hack. Promise a friend you'll show up, post your goal publicly, or even better, build a tiny tribe of people chasing the same thing. It's way harder to ghost your commitments when someone's expecting you. It sounds manipulative. It is, but it works. And you need to use every psychological edge. Ever wonder why you're brilliant at binge watching Netflix but can't sit through a 20-minute workout? It's not because workouts are hard and shows are easy. It's because shows are designed to hook your brain every 7 seconds. Meanwhile, your workouts are probably repetitive and dull, so steal their playbook. Make your habits rewarding. Pair studying with your favorite snack. Only allow yourself that podcast you love while walking. If you wire pleasure into the habit, your lazy brain actually craves it. That's how addiction to good stuff is built. And here's a kicker you might not expect. Stop punishing yourself for resting. Being lazy isn't evil. It's necessary. Your body needs downtime. If you keep telling yourself you're worthless every time you crash on the couch, you'll build toxic resistance to productivity itself. Embrace that you're human. Plan for your laziness. Build days off right into your system so you can recharge guilt-free. Ironically, the more you honor your downtime, the more energy you'll have to crush your ambitions. Let's flip the script for a second. What if you're not lazy at all? Just exhausted. Most people today are running on 5 hours of sleep, loaded with caffeine, juggling 100 notifications. Your brain isn't failing, it's overloaded. Imagine trying to lift weights after sprinting a marathon. That's how your mind feels every time you open another tab or check your phone mid-task. Want instant energy? Prioritize sleep like your life depends on it, because long term, it actually does.